With regard to water resources, China's south to north water diversion project is also a mega project that will astound the globe. Over the last 20 years, China has developed enormous projects like the West-East power transmission and the Three Gorges Dam in order to tackle the problem of power. The builders have replaced batches after batches as the project has been built. It will take at least 40 years to complete. Due to relocation, immigration, and the challenging work environment, more than 100 people suffered injuries and 30 were sacrificed. However, the task has not yet been finished. What challenges did China confront then that it would take 40 years to construct? Similar to the US, China has a 9.6 million square kilometer land area. However, China has a greater population than the US, and its water resources are unevenly distributed, with the north of the country being severely dry and the south receiving more rain. As a result, significant financial resources must be allocated each year to combat both the drought in the north and the floods in the south. If China's population growth is hampered by a severe water deficit, then the country must have a very large population. There will be a lot of people who will go hungry. Only the water resources in the north and south areas may be utilized to address this issue. The national water resources can thus achieve equilibrium. There are three pathways that make up the 90 billion south to north water diversion project, east, middle, and west. Mao Zedong put out the idea in 1952 when it was started. The project's water resources span 4,350 kilometers and affect 500 million people in China. Once finished, it will be possible to move the water resources from the south to the north. China, however, was less developed than Western and European nations in 1952 since it had just recently undergone reform and opened up. They are struggling with money problems and a weak infrastructure. The Qinghai Tibet Plateau is located at a height of 4,000 meters along the project line. There are several earthquake zones, and the geological structure is complicated. A tunnel longer than 100 kilometers must be constructed, as well as a large dam at least 200 meters high. Engineering technology is expensive and complicated. The planning and research for the project alone lasted about 10 years. China at the time was greatly inspired by the North-South Water Diversion Project in California, and they dispatched representatives there to learn about it. The North-South Water Transfer Project in the United States was planned in the middle of the 19th century, began in 1960, and was finished in 1973. With the addition of water resources to the original more than 20 million acres of fields, California is now the state with the largest grain output and the top-ranked economy in the country. It is clear that places with uneven water supplies are significantly impacted by the water transfer project. Following that, China started to design the building of a south-to-north water diversion project, which was noted as an important construction project. It is the project with the greatest scale for construction, water supply, water transfer distance, and beneficiary population in the whole globe. The Yangtze River connects China's four main river basins by transferring water to the north. They made the decision to begin this project in 2002, a year in which China's infrastructure and economy were both experiencing rapid growth. The building of China's south-to-north water diversion project is far more complex than the north-south water diversion project in the United States, which is why, when China first suggested it, the entire world was astonished and worried that China would not be able to finish it on time. In addition to the challenging physical position, there is the 600,000-person immigration issue. First off, digging canals is not necessary to accomplish the water transfer for the south-to-north water diversion project. According to the design, the project would cross more than 1,300 highways, including 60 railways, and 705 rivers. The Yangtze River water will be removed by the Yellow River water if it is directly connected to the Yellow River. In this regard, Chinese experts made the research-based decision to utilize the pump station to boost the water's height when crossing the Yellow River and to use the step-type water diversion method. The water was allowed to flow through the Yellow River's bottom using the siphon and the tunnel technique. Second, the project's main and branch canals will span a combined 5,600 kilometers, requiring 63 million cubic meters of concrete to be poured. The work is more difficult and ambitious than the Three Gorges projects. 110 patents have been obtained for the south to north water diversion project in total. Not only in the history of China, but also in the history of China, but also in the history of the entire globe. It is a magnificent existence. you will find that the river is an open river if you reside close to the south to north water diversion path. Since everyone is aware of the numerous drawbacks of open-air rivers, some may wonder why underground pipes aren't used instead. After all, it is difficult to contaminate, and the water supplies won't dry up. On the one hand, it's because building is so challenging. The south to north water diversion project spans a distance of 4,350 kilometers, and the water transfer will take place via a number of unique terrains. The majority of South China is mountainous and hilly. It is extremely challenging to construct subsurface pipes in such conditions since the north is essentially a plain. Additionally, laying underground pipes is more challenging because to the geographical differences between the north and south. On the other side, building costs are substantial. Consider the middle line as an illustration. Many aspects need to be taken into account if an underground pipeline is employed. For instance, it is necessary to provide scientific proof of the water pipe size. It will be useless if it is too little. Additionally, if it is overly big, it will be wasteful. In addition, this project utilizes materials that are both pressure-bearing and hard, which is significantly more expensive than the input cost of the open-air channel. This project also has a long distance and a high demand. Another argument is that upkeep is more difficult once any project's construction is over. Maintenance and upkeep after that are necessary. Winters in the north are extremely cold, and when the water pipes freeze and shatter, they need to be fixed. The water pipes also need to be changed because they are old and have been used for a long time. The open-air river is more appropriate because each item is fairly heavy. China has finally finished building the eastern and central lines of the south to north water diversion as of 2021, which has a significant influence on China, particularly in terms of socioeconomic development. It resolves the issue of water scarcity in the north, increases resource allocation effectiveness, encourages the northern part of China to become a society that conserves water and fights pollution, while also ensuring the Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal safe sailing. It also has a significant impact on maritime traffic since larger ships will be able to pass through when the water level rises, increasing the capacity. China has enlarged the canal specifically, increased the volume and quantity of cargo ships, and further improved the transportation capacity. Economically, the south to north water diversion project ensures the northern region's economic development. It may successfully increase prospective productivity as well as the local industrial structure, leading to local economic prosperity. Additionally, from an ecological standpoint, the initiative has encouraged the hiring of social workers, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs in China. The Wangai region's ecology has improved thanks to the North-South Water Transfer Project, which also addresses the issues of high fluoride water and harsh alkaline water in several northern regions. Particularly ought to appraise one city. Hubei province has a population of over 5 million. Since the project's water supply's water quality has exceeded the Class 2 level, certain substances are especially dangerous to human health. According to reports, the hard climate brought on by the lack of water in the north has improved and wetlands and creatures have been safeguarded. Nancy Lake has seen the reemergence of long, extinct species, and a rare peach jellyfish has also been seen there. The fact that there are now many more birds living here and that uncommon species have also emerged indicates that the natural situation has improved through time. More than 140 million people in more than 300 counties and cities, including more than 40 big and medium-sized cities like Beijing and Tianjin, now rely primarily on the south to north water diversion project since its completion in 2014. According to the statistics, the total amount of water transferred via the eastern and central channels of the Self-Tanner Bathwater Diversion as of May 13, 2022 was 53.1 billion cubic meters. According to pertinent data, the Eastern Route Project's first phase's water transfer period runs from October to May of the following year. Water is not transferred in the middle of the summer because the summer flood season will bring a lot of precipitation, making it difficult to control the water level and even increasing the risk of flooding. To make sure that the water storage capacity is within the usual range, the water transfer job will be put on hold at this time. On the other hand, because the Middle Line project is an independent water transfer route, it won't have any effects on the summer flood season. The Middle Line travels through 4 provinces and cities, including Hunan Harbor, Beijing, and Tianjin, before ending in Beijing, the capital of China. It begins at Dankyu. More than 67 million people use this 1432 kilometer autonomous transit route. Along with addressing the issue of water scarcity, it will have significant economic advantages for the province and city in which it is located due to the exceptionally high level of construction difficulties and the limitations imposed by the terrain and environment. The western route's development has not yet begun. Experts in China are still working very hard to research it. The eastern and central routes have also been running continuously. However, China's infrastructure technology is improving steadily, and when the West Route project is finished, it will improve the country's water resource distribution, spur economic growth, and lead to changes in the environment's ecology.